I just dropped my daughter off from school, and I just had a thought. You know, my name's Clint Westwood, but it's really Josh. And I think that, you know, people would look at that, and there's a lot of people in the crypto space who, we have different names. We have different identities. You know, I mean, we don't use our real name in the public, you know, social media platform. And, you know, you think, okay, why is that? Isn't that kind of fake? Let me see if I can explain this. We're going through a transition. A lot of us, I feel anyway, that, you know, we have a name that we were born with. We have an identity that we were raised with. We had a culture in which we grew up. And that was who we became. Who society, our families, who the environment created us in a lot of different ways. Now, is that who we are? For a lot of us, I don't think so. I think for a lot of us, we felt our whole lives that things aren't right. We don't necessarily fit in. We don't feel like this is how things should be. This doesn't feel like the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that we have been taught. And I think at this point in time, we are going through a transition to where we are becoming who we were born to be, not who others thought we should be and tried to mold us into. But no, we are becoming the people, the person who we always knew was inside, yet we were unable to express because there were these barriers, these walls, these layers that were placed upon top of us. And right now we're identifying, hey, wait a minute, that's not who I am. You know, this society and what it expects of me, and, you know, the burdens it places upon me, that's not who I am. It's not who I want to be at all. And so, you know, I'm more Clint Westwood than I'm ever Josh. That is who I've always been. It's just that it's always been inside, buried beneath, you know, layers and mounds of expectation from others. This is who you're supposed to be. These are the roles that you must fulfill in society. And that's uncomfortable. That's always been uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable my whole life. I felt like this is not the way human beings are supposed to live. So I think a lot of us are looking deep within ourselves and saying, okay, we're kind of tired of this. And you know what? We're going to just live how we want to live, how we believe that humans should be living. Not according to some imposed artificial order by people who don't know anything about humanity. Nothing. They know how to serve their interests. They know how to protect their castles and their ivory towers. They do that very well. However, that is at the expense of the humanity that lives on this planet. And so many of us now are tired of that, and we are identifying with our humanity, and we are saying, no, this person, this shell of a person that you've created, it's not who we are. And we're stepping out and we're saying, this is who we are. Cryptocurrency allows that to happen. It's one thing that allows that to happen. But again, I've said it many times, that is the activator. That is the impetus. That is the one weapon that we've been allowed to pick up and use. And so many of us see that as a tool, as a weapon that can change things, or at least start the change. It may not change anything at the end of it, but in the world, but it's changed something in here for a lot of us. It's activated a soul, a spirit. It's got a heart thumping that didn't used to thump. It's excited us. It's fulfilled so many, it's completed and answered so many questions that we've had. It's opened us up and allowed us to look inside of ourselves again and say, you know what? Why are we playing this game, this artificial game? Why are we serving others who don't deserve to be served? It's really enlightened and activated, and that's just the best word I can, it's activated. It's activated our spirit. It's like the defibrillator, you know, it hit that heart and boom, holy cow, I'm alive. You know, and I've been dead this whole time and didn't even know it. I kind of knew it, but I was walking like a zombie through life, and I was going to continue to do that in someone else's staged play. You know, but we realize we're not players for, you know, for the company anymore. We are standing out and realizing, hey, each one of us is a show in unto itself. Unto itself. You know, we can make magic all on our own. We don't need the theater anymore. We can go out into the street, and many other people will start to listen. And that's where we're at in this whole thing. Those of us who have awakened and been activated, I think we're all at that point, just at a more dense level. You know, but it becomes less and less dense as those layers and that topsoil, you know, all of that stuff that's been buried upon us starts to creep away. And we jump out of that grave and we say, holy cow, I'm alive, you know. I'm no longer under a spell, some voodoo spell. I'm alive. And we're all getting to that point. You know, some of us are scratching our way up. You know, we're still in the casket, in the coffin. We're awake. We're like, how do I get out of this? I mean, but so many of us are popping out and we're off and running. And we're telling each other, hey, you don't need to be in here. Here's a shovel. You know, cryptocurrency is one of the shovels. And it's, hey, I'm going to help you get out. I'm going to help, you know, bring you back to life, so that we can all walk together and we can move forward. And so we are all becoming who we've always been, but we've been prevented from being that person by whatever, fill in the blank. We've all got our baggage. We've all got those things that have been on our backs. And the key is, never before in my lifetime, and I don't think in many other people's lives that I've talked to anyway, that I've come into contact with, have they seen this or felt this, felt so drawn to something, an awakening. And I think that's where we're at. And so a lot of the old personality that everyone knew, you know, I see this a lot. People will say, friends of mine, you know, their friends and, you know, relatives and spouses will say, well, you're not who you used to be. You've changed. And I say to that, no, we haven't changed. We've always been this way. And now we finally see that, yeah, we're going to start showing who we are. We're not going to live within the expectations of someone else's boundary, rules, game. We're not going to do that anymore, because that hasn't worked. It has not worked. It has not made us happy people. It has not taken us down a correct path in this world. And so now we realize, okay, we've got nothing to lose. We've got everything to gain. See, we were dead. Now we're not. And so those identities fall away, and, you know, new or latent identities that that were buried inside, not the ones on the surface, not Josh on the surface, but that heart, that beating fire that is Clint Westwood comes out. And the others who come out that I've seen. It's here. It's an awakening. It's an activation. And the worst thing that can happen right now in my mind is that we just say, you know what? I'm okay in this casket, this coffin. I'm all right. I'm comfortable here. I'll just stay here. Don't do it. Don't just sit back and wait. Don't just lead a life of quiet desperation. Don't. Just take that step forward. I see so many people doing that. Take that step forward and activate yourself and engage with other people and grow this movement, this awakening, because there are people out there who are just waiting for you. Waiting for you. And it wakes them up when they see you, when they hear you, and then when they meet you. So don't doubt yourself. If you're thinking, wow, everybody thinks I'm crazy. Everybody thinks that I'm just, you know, this whack job that, you know, I've changed and, you know, I'm different. You know, inside you're not different. You know, inside this has always been there. You know, inside that this time, this moment, this now is why you're here. So be who you were born to be and show the world. I love each and every one of you. I want each and every one of you to become that person that you feel inside, that person you were born to be. So, I hope you have a great day. And, you know, cryptocurrency is here for a reason. Use that tool. Use that weapon. It's an opportunity. So I hope you have a great day. And I do. I love you all.